Hello to all, myself Vandana Yadav and I am working as a legal intern with Lexis and Company. And today we are going to discuss India's longest case, the proceeding for which went for 68 days, the judgment of which contains 703 pages and more than 100 countries and more than the constitution of more than 70 countries was compared before coming to the judgment and before deciding what is correct and what is not in this case. More than 100 plus cases were set aside for this case. Yes, we are talking about the most important case, that is the Keshwananda Bharati case versus State of Kerala 1973. This case was a culmination of a very serious conflict going on between the judiciary and the government. So हमें जब इंडिपेंडेंस मिला 1947 में, उसके बाद सारे स्टेट्स अपने अपने सोशल और इकोनॉमिक कंडीशंस को इम्प्रूव करने में लग गए थे. जब कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बना और फंडामेंटल राइट्स मिले, तब हमें पता चला कि इक्वालिटी भी हमारा एक राइट है. People of the state came to know that the wealth, most of the wealth was concentrated in few hands, and that the resources and the means of production were in few hands. Kerala being one of the state, केरला की स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने अपने ज़मींदारी सिस्टम, लैंड ओनरशिप, टेनेंसी लॉज को ठीक करने के लिए Kerala Reforms Act 1963 में पास किया. These land reforms act decided the distribution of land among the people of the state, and it kind of restricted the property rights. It was then that a Indian Hindu monk, Keshwananda Bharati, the head of the Ednir Mutt, challenged this. A writ petition was filed by Keshwananda Bharati challenging and opposing these Land Reforms Act of 1963, and the case was represented in Supreme Court by Nanaji Palkhiwala. Keshwananda Bharati said that right to own land is a fundamental right. उस टाइम पर और भी कुछ important cases चल रहे थे, like the bank nationalization case, Golaknath case, etc. And there was a tussle going on between the Parliament and the Supreme Court. The Parliament said that through Article 368 it has the powers, and that too in no limits, to amend the Constitution, to which the Supreme Court did not agree and imposed restrictions on amending the Constitution. After which Parliament brings the 24th Amendment Act, the 25th Amendment Act and the 29th Amendment Act so that the Parliament gets back to its powers. Let us understand these three amendments. The 24th Amendment Act. The Parliament has power to amend any provision in the Constitution. Through the 25th Amendment Act, the right to property can be curtailed and government can acquire private land for public use. Through the 30th Amendment Act, through the 29th Amendment Act, Land Reforms Act was put under the 9th schedule. Now we will discuss what is so special about the 9th schedule of Indian Constitution. तो जो भी लॉज 9th शेड्यूल में डाले जाते हैं उन पर सवाल नहीं उठाया जा सकता है. They cannot be questioned. They cannot be reviewed. And so the Land Reforms Act, by having a space in the 9th schedule, got immunity from any kind of interference from the court. इस केस में बहुत सारे मुद्दे उठाए गए थे, but the two most important issues were the first, that can Parliament amend fundamental rights, and the second, if yes, that is if Parliament can amend the fundamental rights, then to what extent is it amending power. तो एक तरफ थे पेटिशनर और एक तरफ थे रिस्पोंडेंट्स. पेटिशनर को लीड कर रहे थे केशवानंद भारती, and he said that the power of Parliament under Section 368 is limited and Parliament cannot misuse it. They said that fundamental rights have been given to protect the freedom of the citizens. But the respondents said that Parliament has unlimited power, it has got absolute power to amend the Constitution, and if this power is curtailed, then states won't be able to change their social and economic conditions with the changing times. There was a case before this, Golaknath case versus State of Punjab, in which the Supreme Court had held that the Parliament could not amend fundamental rights, and power to amend the Constitution would only be with the Constituent Assembly. Coming to the judgment, a 13 judges bench, the longest so far, was constituted. It was set up by the Supreme Court, the biggest so far to hear this case, and by a thin majority of 7-6, the judgment of Golaknath case versus State of Punjab was overruled in Keshwananda case versus State of Kerala. Also, the 24th Amendment Act was held to be valid. आर्टिकल 368 के अंडर पार्लियामेंट के पास पूरी पावर है कि वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के किसी भी प्रोविज़न को अमेंड कर सकती है. नाउ द सेकेंड क्वेश्चन, The first question having been answered, the second question was what is the extent of the amending power of Parliament? To this, the Supreme Court said that amending powers should be used so as not to disturb or amend the basic structure of the Constitution. That is, आप कुछ भी amend कर सकते हैं लेकिन basic structure को disturbance नहीं होना चाहिए. Also, the 25th and the 29th Amendment Act were held valid. But the Supreme Court also held that any law, if put in the 9th schedule, which is violating the basic features of the Constitution, they will be under judicial review, unlike before, and they can be challenged in the court. So on 24th of April 1973, the landmark decision of the Supreme Court gave birth to the basic structure doctrine. And there was no exhaustive list given of the basic features, but an indicative list was given, and also that in the coming times more things can be added to the list. Why is the case important? इसकी जजमेंट से सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक नया डॉक्ट्रीन इंट्रोड्यूस किया, द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डॉक्ट्रीन, और इस एक केस ने आने वाले सालों के लिए इंडिया की डेमोक्रेसी को सेव किया. थैंक यू.